Honorable President of today's program, Mr. Chilke sir, all the dignitaries who have occupied their seats already on the stage, my dear colleagues, and all the NSS volunteers, RSP volunteers, and my dear students. Today is very important day because we all have gathered here to commemorate the birth anniversary of two greatest leaders. Out of two, the first one is Mr. M.K. Gandhi and the second one is Lal Bahadur Shastri. As before me, there were some students who delivered the speech about both the leaders, but especially I am going to talk about M.K. Gandhi ji, which is assigned to me. My dear students, here I just wanted to highlight 2 points about this great person. The first one, which is about his early childhood, and the second one is tour to the South Africa. When Gandhiji was at the age of 7 at his primary school level, he had one experience. As a student, he was very shy, he was avoiding the company of friends. My dear students, it is my pleasure to tell you, the friends of Gandhiji in school level was book and his lessons. Whatever lessons he got from the books, he considered the lessons as friends and he considered the books as friends. Let me tell you, the father of Gandhiji was Karamchand Gandhi, and in that time, Karamchand Gandhi was a minister of princely state, Porbandar at Kathiawad in Gujarat. What is a minister? In that period, he was called, particular word was used there, and the word is Parsi, that is a Diwan. And what is Diwan? The head accountant who can control all over the country. So, he was rich, enough rich to send his son to higher study to the abroad. And that's why, my dear students, Mahatma Gandhiji, after completing his matric, he sent to the England for higher study like LLB, and he completed law there. After completing to South Africa, why he went to South Africa, let me tell you. When he was as a school child, his eyes fell upon two books which were purchased by his father Karamchand Gandhi. And what were the two books? The first book was Shravana's Pitru Bhakti Nataka. The title is in Sanskrit, Mr. Devresa, that's why I use the Sanskrit words. As you have told me, everything should be in English. Everything is in English, but there are some words which came from Parsi, Sanskrit, Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati. And according to me, each language has its own importance. Is that clear, sir? So the first book, which was very great in his life, he was impressed by that book, and the book Shravana's Pitru Bhakti Nataka. It means it was a play about the devotion of Shravana towards his parents. I don't know whether you know the story of Shravana, but let me tell you. There was a picture in that book, and Mr. M.K. Gandhi was really impressed by that picture. And what was the picture? Shravana was carrying his parents to a pilgrimage. And by that reading book, he learned that we should also serve our parents. That is why he said, service to man is service to God. Service to man is service to God. In his childhood, Gandhiji knew only the proper time of his school. When there was the starting, he was attending the school, and at the end, he was going to his home and serving to his father. That's why he was not in the company of other friends. His company, his companions were only books and the lessons from that. Another book which was very impressed by Gandhiji, the title of that book, Harichandra. You might have heard about the King Harichandra. He was a symbol of truth, and that's why there is a principle of Gandhiji, truth and non-violence. He loved the book Harichandra and he learned from that king that when once upon a time in a sleep that king had dreamed about his kingdom, and in dream he had given his kingdom to a concerned person, and day after tomorrow when he got up from the sleep, that king was so much truthful that he had given the kingdom to a concerned person. I think you could not imagine this in modern world, how the people are practical, but in that period there were such a great people, and really there was the impact of such a great people on Mahatma Gandhi in his early childhood. Second important topic that I would like to highlight before you, and that is about the Gandhiji's tour to the South Africa. After completing LLB degree, he was appointed as an advocate to South Africa. Now let me tell you, my dear students, why only Gandhiji he had a mastery of Gujarati language. Already he went to England for completing LLB course. So in the company of Britishers whose native language is English, he mastered over that language. He learned the course from the English. And the third reason that Abdullah Dada decided that he is the person can fight against the Britishers because he has a mastery of English, he has good thoughts, and he belongs to my own state. Because Abdullah Dada was also belonging to Gujarati family, he was a merchant, and there were some problems. Now, my dear friends, when he went to South Africa to fight only one case about Dada Abdullah, but there were some events which happened, and then Mahatma Gandhiji recognized the ugly face of British authority, the way they were exploiting our laborers, Indian people. This came to know Mahatma Gandhiji, and there were some incidences, and with the help of incidences, he stayed there totally 20 years. And why he stayed there? Because he went to fight only one case, but he had to stay there for 20 years. He spent there doing his duty as an advocate. So why this happened? So this is going to highlight it for you, my dear students. Once Mahatma Gandhiji was traveling by the train from Durban to the Pretoria. These are the cities, states in South Africa. In between that, there is a Pietersburg station where he got the experience that white people, means British people, threw out the Mahatma Gandhiji out of the coach, which was first class coach in train. There, Indian people, black colored people were not allowed to sit. But Gandhiji thought that I am an advocate. Now you are watching that he is in a dhoti, kurta, one spectacle, one stick. But when he was young, after completing LLB, he was in a suit, boot and tie. Charming personality, but Britishers were against it. They hate black people, Indian people. That's why one of the Britishers threw Mahatma Gandhiji out of the train. And the first lesson he learned there that in Africa there is very dangerous condition about the black people. Mahatma Gandhiji was the first educated person who visited South Africa. It doesn't mean that there was only Mahatma Gandhi to visit the South Africa. Before him in 1860, from our Asia, means Indian, China, Indonesia, Philippines, all the people were available in South Africa, but they were in the form of laborers, not advocates. Only one person was an advocate, educated person, Mahatma Gandhiji, visited South Africa. So, the British authority in South Africa, they were exploiting these laborers. They were treating very badly. There was a humiliation to proper native South African laborers, Indian laborers. They were working in sugar plantation, and there are some mines of diamonds also. They were exploiting, and this came to know to Mr. Mahatma Gandhi. And then he decided that there is a need. I should not go to my country because my brothers are here working as a labor, and I should give them rights. I should teach them that you should you should fight for your rights. And he had taught them how to fight against the British government. Let me tell you, my dear friends, in India, in that period, there was a different British policy. It was again different in England also, but very dangerous condition in Africa, which he came to know when he visited that Africa. They were exploiting these peoples. And from that moment, Gandhiji took the decision that I have to organize the committee of all Indian, all laborers who belong to Asiatic and teach them how to fight against the British authority who is not treating them properly. Again, second experience he got about the humiliation that at Johannesburg, his luxurious hotel, that he is an advocate, he should be, he was denied, sir. Gandhiji was denied in that hotel because black colored Indian person. Now you imagine what was the condition, racial discrimination was there. Now make an ID card, you have to register the form, and whenever it is demanded by the authority, you should provide that ID card. And if you are not able to provide it, you will be sent to jail and you have to suffer from a great punishment. Against it, Gandhiji also took the step and he organized all the laborers belonging to our Asia and made a committee. There were two provinces in South Africa. First one is Natal and second one is Cape. Nowadays we call it Cape Town, and where there was a great community of British people who were treating our laborers like slaves. And Gandhiji did not like it. Even how they were treating our laborers were not allowed to walk on the footpath. They were not allowed to move out of the door after 9 p.m. Such things were there by British government. And that's why we had such a great leader in our country who fought against the Britishers and given the justice to all the laborers belonging to our country. This is how, my dear friends, after completing 20 years in South Africa, after the struggle, he returned to the India, and after coming to India, we everybody know that how he fought against the British, and without using the weapons, with the help of only words, he thrown away all the Britishers out of our country, and that's why he is the leader of truth and non-violence. That was a great weapon used by our Gandhiji. To such a great leader who disappeared from us on 13 January 1948. Dear friends, such a leaders though disappeared, but they disappeared physically. They are always in our heart in the form of their memories and work. To such a great leader and Lal Bahadur Shastri also, I salute crore of times, and with this note I end my speech here, and very thankful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to talk before you. Thank you.